King Archives. I had saliva, so I had swallow. So yeah, that's gross, but whatever. First off, I want to apologize for my throat, as I got a tiny bit of a sore throat. Um, so if I sound off, that's why. Secondly, sorry for the lack of videos. I'm gonna make this a really long story short because I don't think I ever did an upload saying, like, explaining this. Besides mentioning it in a stream or two. My computer got stolen, and so that really slowed down me being able to do anything. Like, we were robbed. I got a bunch of my stuff stolen. We got it all back, including the computer, like last week. And I'm finally sitting down to do this video as I went to see Jurassic World Dominion, and I thought, you know what, let's do the thing I did with Sonic 2 and just do a quick shot non-spoiler review, which you're gonna get to in just a sec. And as like last time, it'll just be trailer footage. But real quick, I wanted to explain something about one of my initial plans. I initially was thinking of doing a spoiler review for Sonic 2, mostly because I thought that my opinion would change. And I'm not gonna say. And here's the thing: I'm not gonna be like, "Oh, Sonic 2 is such a one of those movies where any sort of spoilage on it is bad," and I refuse to be part of like that mess. No, it's no, honestly no. Like I've openly talked about some of the stuff in it that are considered spoilers, but no, I was gonna do it because I was certain that my score was gonna change. For those who don't remember, I gave the movie a 10 out of 10. And I was certain after a few rewatches, because I'd only seen the movie like once or twice by that point. But I was like, okay, by the time I reach the sixth or seventh time, I'll probably notice glaring problems, and it'll lower it to like an 8 or a 9. And honestly, no, I've seen the movie several more times now. Like I've seen it close to 11 times at this point, and I honestly think it is still a 10 out of 10. So I just wanted to do a quick little intro thing to explain that. Um, Now, future Dino King or past Dino King or whatever, do your Dominion thing. Like, tell the people about your opinion on Dominion. Welcome to the review of Jurassic World Dominion that everyone's going to pretty much universally hate. Hello, everyone. My name is Dino King Archives. Uh, as you can tell, and as I've probably tweeted several times now, I actually finally went to see Jurassic World Dominion. Now, let me get out of the way. A lot of people do not like this movie. I have seen a couple of reviews, and some of them I agree with, some of them I don't fully agree with. And we're going to cover some of those points, not all of them, because good God, there's a lot of things people hate about this movie. Like, a lot. In fact, I've seen this being called the worst Jurassic World movie ever. And if I had time and the footage and all the other shit, I would make a 45-minute video telling you why it's not the worst Jurassic movie. Like, it's not the worst Jurassic World movie. It's not even the worst Jurassic movie. Like, even if we're judging as a film and not, my personal opinion stuff or whatever, it still is not the worst. So, let's quickly jump into it. Like, I mean, the basics of the film is that, because this is a non-spoiler review, by the way, but the basics is Blue and Maisie get kidnapped by the evil people, and, Owen, I almost said Chris and Owen. Owen and Claire have to go save them, and there's this locust plot. Like, okay, let me restart. There's an A plot and a B plot, and I think previous movies have technically had this. Like, I know the last one did. Fallen Kingdom had the whole Indoraptor thing, but I think the A and B plot is more interesting in this one. Maisie's really well written. Owen is better written than he was in the previous movie. He's kind of back to where he was for me in the original Jurassic World. But I actually liked him in that movie. I didn't really like him in Fallen Kingdom because he was basically the joke machine, which I thought Fallen Kingdom was too jokey anyways. And I actually like that movie, but ironically, I should say, I ironically like that movie. I think it's a movie that's really fun to make fun of, but whatever. But yeah, so basically the plot, A plot is Maisie and Blue's baby get kidnapped, and Owen and Claire have to go rescue her at at basically the evil company, because there always needs to be an evil company in these movies for some reason. Um, but at the same time, the evil company basically released these locusts that are like fucking giant and are eating crops, except the ones that the evil company is supplying. And that's where the old cast actually come in. As Ian's kind of at the evil company, kind of working as a double agent. Alan and Ellie have a meet up, and it's like, okay, here's what we're gonna do. Like this shit's going down. Like, come on, we need to solve this. And also, actually, no, I'm not gonna say it. It's not. It's kind of a spoil. It's a tiny spoiler, but I think if you're a fan of the characters, you won't want to know. Like, in all honesty, it's not bad. It's one of those things that I think is better experienced by watching the film. One thing I will say is this movie actually takes place, I think, 4 years after Fallen Kingdom, which I did not expect. I don't know why I didn't expect that, but I thought one of my issues that I was thinking was going to have was that they're not going to explain well enough why the government doesn't bomb the dinosaurs. And I kind of wish I didn't say think there because that is one of my issues. They kind of explain it by saying that, oh, this company has put in laws so to like help against poachers and things like that. And I remember when I watched this movie, I was literally sitting there thinking, what the fuck? You can just do that. I can literally, if I was running a company, I could put in a law to say that this endangered species should not be hunted. Like, I don't know. Maybe it's something you can do if you're a company that has to do with the animal. You guys can let me know. I don't know this kind of stuff. But it's a good film. I want to say that first off. I know a lot of people do not like this movie. The Let me get into the issue I agree with. The fact that the pacing is a little off. I agree. Kind of. The way people describe it make it sound like the pacing's everywhere throughout the movie. Like it's just off all the time, and I'm like, not really. I think it's only a few scenes. Basically, they go to this black market. Um, Owen goes to this black market. Like some dinosaurs get out. He runs away and manages to evade them. And then some other dinosaurs come after him. They get rid of them, and then they get on the plane. And then a pterosaur attacks them, and then it flies off. And like basically within the middle section, I can be like, okay, yes, the pacing's a little off, but it's really only that one part for me that I think pacing is off. The other issue I've seen people say is that this movie focuses too much on the dinosaurs, and others say there aren't enough dinosaurs in the movie, blah blah blah. And I'm gonna say I don't fall on either side. I think it had the perfect amount, and I'm gonna explain that in a sec. And I'm not gonna talk too much about the plot because this is kind of one of those movies. Like what I talked about is the plot. That's the plot I can tell you guys without really spoiling stuff. Um, but like, what was the thing? I don't remember. Anyway, like, I don't think the pacing, besides that one middle part, like I said, it ain't that bad. Um, Character development is fine. Claire pretty much has as much character development as she got from Fallen Kingdom. Well, more accurately to say, because I kind of worded that weirdly. Basically, she doesn't get much new character development. Like there's a scene in the beginning where it's like, look, she cares about dinosaurs, which I can agree probably should have been cut because I'm sort of sitting there like it's like okay, we know she cares about the dinosaurs. This was established in Fallen Kingdom. You don't need to re-establish these things. I don't know. The original crew doesn't get much character development, which I've seen some flack about. I'm okay with it because they got it in the original movies, and I know that sounds like an excuse of like why should they just be the same? It's like I don't think enough could have happened to these people, to the original cast, where they would be basically new characters. It's like yeah, like sure you could say that like them being exactly the same is stupid, but I for this kind of movie, I'm fine with it. Like in something like Spider-Man No Way Home, I'm glad that Toby and Andrew were kind of different Spider-Men than when they left off. Like they grew up a bit, they changed slightly. In this movie, the old cast is basically the same. And again, for this film, I think it works. Um, final. eh, So I want to. Oh, no, I remember what I was saying. I think that this movie had a perfect amount of dinosaurs. I, I don't understand much of the criticism saying it had too many or too or didn't focus on them enough or whatever because I'm like yeah it's a dinosaur film but to me the beauty of Jurassic Park and like someone I think it was Best Slot for a few I watched that said this but is that we cared more about the people like Jurassic Park was never about the dinosaurs and that's really true for me dinosaurs haven't been special in these last two movies because we basically see a new dinosaur every 10 or 15 minutes. And this movie does that a little bit, and that's like the part I don't like. But I don't know, like in Jurassic World, like when I first saw that, I was amazed by all the new dinosaur scene. But now I'm like, man, can't stand that movie. Which blah blah blah. We already know I don't like that movie. I don't need to re-explain that again. All right? Maybe someday I'll do a review of this trilogy and just have a new look at it to see if I feel any different, which I probably won't because I do think this one's the best. But like, I don't know, it's it's a good movie in my opinion. Like I agree with some of the pacing. I agree with the pacing issues and a couple of the other issues that I can't remember for some reason. Like this is not a perfect movie, but it doesn't need to be. This is just sort of a fun movie. Like this is the movie. After I left the theater, I had a different feeling than Sonic 2, which is unfortunate. I wanted it to be like Sonic 2. When I left the theater watching after Sonic 2, I wanted to go back in and literally just watch the movie again. I wanted to go back and watch that movie again. The feeling I had after this movie was not that. Apologies for the dog barking. Nothing I can do about it. The feeling I had for this one was more of like I was happy. I was like, huh, I love Jurassic World. Like I know I've memed on it that people think I hate everything Jurassic World has made just because I don't like the first Jurassic World film. But like this movie reminded me why I like the series so much, why it's so special to my heart. Like it reminded me why Jurassic Park is my favorite movie. Like you know, plus we got to see some old dinosaurs come back, including the Dilophosaurus, which I can say because it's in the trailer, and you've probably seen it like 12 times now. So yeah. The last thing I want to say is the final battle fucking sucks. Like this is one of those movies that I don't think needed a final battle. I don't think Jurassic Park movies need a big final battle because literally the only one that technically had it was one. Yeah, only Jurassic Park one had it, and it wasn't really a final battle because the Rex just kills the raptors. I don't know. I the fact that pretty much all of these movies have had some kind of final battle of sorts. It's kind of upsetting, and I really don't like it. And if we get another trilogy or another movie or whatever, I hope they ease up on the final battles. We don't need final battles. Also, I want to bring up something. Apparently, the director said he wanted the Giga to basically be the Joker of the film. It's more of an animal, and I've seen people say that that's bad design. Da, 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 da. It's like, honestly, I'm glad that that's more of an animal. I want these things to act like animals. That's part of the reason I hate the Indominus. Well, kind. It's one of my smaller reasons. My fuck with that is more of everyone's reaction to that, but whatever. I like that it's more of an animal. I really do. But yeah, Final Battle sucks. And the other plot like plot, not plot, kind of a plot hole is like basically these dinosaurs get herded to this one area, but before that, some Dilophosaurus are already in this area that before every other dinosaur's been herded to it. So I'm kind of just like, how did they get here? You know? But there's a couple plot holes in this movie. The character interactions between the old and new cast is really awesome though, and I really like it. This movie is not perfect, but it's not trying to be a perfect film. It's trying to be a fun action movie. And I'm not a big fan of that. I mean, I'm okay with it. Jurassic Park was never about the action until honestly like 3 and World kind of amped it up a bit. And if these movies had less action, I do think I would like them more. But to me, and I'm going to get a lot of flack for this, but to me personally, this movie is the closest thing to recapturing the magic that I had for the Jurassic franchise since The Lost World. And I've already gone back and forth on if I like this movie more than The Lost World or not. I think I like it slightly more, if I'm being completely honest. Issues and all, but at the same time, it's like Lost World has plenty of issues. Hell, I'd say Lost World has many issues as this. They're different issues, sure, but I'd say it has about just as many. And I know someone's gonna set me on fire just for saying that. Like I'm ready for the hate, honestly. But like honestly, I I do like this movie, and I want to see it again when I can. Which I'm currently busy with stuff, so who knows when that will be. But I'm gonna get fucked for this, but I have to do the score, and I considered saying that this movie is so special and so important to the Jurassic franchise that I can't really give it a score. Not every movie needs one, but I don't think I'm a constant reviewer, so I don't think I can say that. So, Jurassic World Dominion, I really switched on this score a lot. I wanted to say that, but no matter what, I'm getting hate for it. I'm giving Jurassic World Dominion a 9 out of 10. I wavered on it being a 10 out of 10 or a 9 out of 10. I can agree that the problems that I've mentioned do bog it down. This movie has a lot of issues where people say it's a 4 out of 10 or a 5 out of 10 or a 6 out of 10 at most, but I don't agree to enough of those problems that it bogs it down that much. It has issues that are some are distracting, the pacing is off, but it's a really fun movie, and that's all it really needs to be to me. This doesn't need to be Endgame or No Way Home style stuff. It really doesn't. So, 9 out of 10.